All right, today we are jumping headfirst into the amazing world of 3D with one of the coolest tools out there, Blender. We're going to go on a little creative journey together. So let's get right into it. So have you ever had these big ideas? Dreaming up incredible characters, crazy futuristic cars, or maybe even entire fantasy worlds just from your imagination? If you've got all those ideas, but you felt kind of stuck, wondering how you actually bring them to life in 3D, well, you are in the exact right place.
Okay, let's just be real for a second. The first time you open up Blender, it feels like you're looking at the cockpit of a spaceship, right? There are buttons and windows and menus absolutely everywhere. And honestly, that's the #1 reason a lot of people just close the program and, well, never open it again. It's an incredibly powerful piece of software, but all that power can feel really intimidating at first.
But don't you worry, we are going to fix that today. I want you to think of this explainer as your treasure map. We're going to cut right through all that complexity and give you a super clear step-by-step path. The goal? To take you from feeling totally overwhelmed to feeling genuinely empowered to just start making stuff. So, with that, let's officially begin our quest. These are your very first steps into a much, much larger world of creation. And it all just starts with getting your bearings. First things first, you're going to want to head over to blender.org and get it downloaded. Now, when you open it up, just ignore all the noise and focus on a few key things. The big window in the middle, that's the 3D viewport. It's your canvas. The list on the top right, that's the outliner, basically your inventory. And the panel on the bottom right, that's properties, where you tweak the details. But before anything else, just learn how to move. Use your middle mouse button to orbit around. Hold Shift and the middle mouse to pan side to side. And just scroll the wheel to zoom. Seriously, getting that muscle memory down is the key to everything. Okay, so now you can look around your 3D space. It's time to actually start interacting with it. This next part is all about learning the fundamental language of 3D. These are the basic commands that are going to become total second nature to you. Now, don't get scared off by hotkeys. I promise, these 5 right here are pretty much all you need to know to get started. In fact, they'll probably make up like 80% of everything you do. G is for grab or move. R is for rotate. S is for scale. To add something new, it's Shift plus A. And to get rid of something, just hit X. G, R, S. Just burn those 3 into your memory right now. All right, so we can move around, we can add basic shapes. Now the real fun starts. This is modeling. This is how we take those boring, simple shapes and turn them into custom sculptures, really giving form to the ideas in our head. The big secret here is something called edit mode. All you do is hit the Tab key to jump into it. Once you're in there, you're not moving the whole object anymore. You're moving its individual little pieces, its faces, its edges. So you'll add a shape, then you can hit E to extrude a face, which kind of pulls a new shape right out of the old one. Then you can use Control plus R to add a loop cut for more detail, and Control plus B to bevel the edges and make them look nice and smooth. That's it. That's the core loop of all modeling. Look, hearing about it is one thing, but practice is everything. Using only the tools we've just talked about, I want you to pause this and just try to make something simple. A basic coffee mug, a little table, a chair. Don't worry about making it perfect. The goal is just to use the tools. Go on, give it a shot. Awesome. You've now sculpted an object from just a simple shape. But, a sculpture sitting in a gray, empty void isn't super exciting. So the next step is to set the scene by adding color, materials, and most importantly, light. So to put a texture, like a wood green or a metal finish, onto your object, you first have to tell Blender how to lay that texture flat. This is a process called UV unwrapping. It sounds complicated, I know, but the best way to think about it is like a cardboard box. Imagine cutting it along the seams and laying it out perfectly flat. That flat pattern, that's your UV map. It just makes sure your texture wraps around your model perfectly without any weird stretching or ugly seams. So how do you actually see the final picture with all the lights and textures working together? You have to render it. And Blender gives you 2 main ways to do this. There's Eevee, which is like a video game engine. It's super fast, you see the results in real time, and it's perfect for just testing out ideas. Then you've got Cycles.
Think of Cycles as the professional photographer. It takes a little more time, but it calculates how light actually behaves in the real world to give you these absolutely stunning photorealistic images.
So you've built an object, you've textured it, you've lit the scene. There's just one more major step in our quest, bringing it to life with animation. Let's look at the one core idea you need to grasp to make things move.
The absolute heart of animation is the keyframe. A keyframe is really just a marker. It's a little pin you stick on the timeline that says, at this exact moment, I want this object to be right here with this rotation and this size. So you set a keyframe at the beginning, you move forward in time, you move your object somewhere else, and you set another keyframe. Blender automatically and magically fills in all the movement in between. It's really that simple to get something moving.
And that brings us to the final boss of our little beginner's quest. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to combine everything we've just learned. I want you to make a simple scene, maybe a coffee cup on a table. Apply some basic textures to it, and then bring it all to life with a short, simple camera pan animation. If you can do this, it proves you have all the core skills you need. Of course, every adventurer needs a toolkit for the road ahead. When you're ready to go deeper, your first stop should be Blender Guru's famous donut tutorial on YouTube. It's practically a rite of passage for every Blender user. If you have a specific question, the official Blender manual is your encyclopedia. And if you need amazing, free textures and models, Polyhaven is an absolutely essential bookmark. So, there it is. You have the map, you have the basic language, you have the fundamental skills to start this journey. That intimidating spaceship cockpit should be looking a lot more like a creative playground now. So really, the only question left is, what will you create first?